Hello and welcome to the Sugar Detox Challenge. My name is Emily Webb. I'm the founder of Freedom Body Unlimited, and I'm so excited to have you here taking the next step to greater health, to feeling better, to feeling younger, and living a more vibrant life. That's what we're all here for. So I congratulate you for showing up and taking this step for yourself. And we are going to jump right in with some questions. So go ahead and get out a pen and paper. This is here to set you up for success, to create a plan for this week to make breaking or decreasing your sugar intake easier for you. So I want you to remember that this is a no guilt, no shame, no blame, no judgment zone. All right? We all have habits that we appreciate, that we like, and also potentially habits that we want to move away from. So we're all a work in progress, and it's about taking the next step forward. It's about progress, not necessarily perfection. So question number one, get out your pen and paper. This is going to set you up for success, not just this week, but with your health in general. So question number one is, what is your why? Why are you here? Why did you start this video? Why do you want to be healthier? It could be to, fit into that outfit that's in the back of your closet. It could be to have more energy to play with your kids. And I'm just going to give you a moment to write. And just think about this as like stream of consciousness. There's no right or wrong answer. For me, I have a lot of desires in life, and I want to do a lot of different things. And if I don't have enough energy, if I don't feel good, I can't do all those things and fulfill all those desires. So that's one of my whys. What is your why? I love feeling good in my body. Yeah, I love having energy. And the next question is, what prices are you paying for not having that health that you want? If you're feeling low energy or your body's in pain, what is that costing you in your life? Are you being left on the sidelines while other people are doing things? Is your body in pain? Are you out of breath when you walk up a hill? So it's like you can't even go out with your kids, etc. What is it costing you? And the next question is, what prices are other people paying? What is the cost to other people? And this can be family. It could also be at work. What is you not taking care of yourself costing other people? Go ahead, you should be writing. And if you need to, you can pause this video at any point and just continue writing. Please do. So our first three questions was, what is your why? Why do you want to be healthy? And get a big one, get a juicy one. Right? Just fitting into that outfit may not be enough to carry you through the harder times. So get a big why. I want to be alive for my kids. I want to take this trip and hike this mountain. Second question was, what prices are you paying? What is the cost when you're not at your healthiest? Or if you're overweight, what is the cost of you being overweight? What is the cost of your body being in pain? Third question was, what prices are other people paying because you're not at your healthiest? Remember, no shame, no guilt, no blame. We just look at it. And that is the first step, really being honest with ourselves. So in the vein of honesty, we're going to do some sugar admissions now. So I'm going to tell you a quick story. I don't eat sugar now, but when I was a kid, my parents were pretty good in the food department, but they did not monitor our our nickels and dimes at the corner store. So we would go and buy like they were like these Lickama sticks, and it was like a stick of sugar, and it came in there was like those little colored pouches with colored sugar in them, and you would just dig it out and just like the whole thing down, pure sugar, and then food coloring on top of that. And I don't know if you remember, like there was also these pixie sticks. It's like this little paper straw, and you would just rip off the top and just whoop back like guzzling sugar, right? And there was candy bars and M&Ms and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, I didn't have a different upbringing than many of you had. I ate all that stuff, right? And maybe now you're still caught in that cycle. That and there's no shame, guilt, or blame to your parents either, or to your teachers or people who brought you up. It's just what it was. And we get to look at now. We want to make a new choice. So, what sugar are you eating now? And we're going to look at 3 categories generally for this week. We have you know, that just pure white sugar, like the cookies and the cakes and all that things that you know have just sugar poured into them. We're going to look at artificial sweeteners because artificial sweeteners, some of them may be better for you than others. We're not here to debate that. But if you're eating artificial sweeteners, it can actually promote sugar cravings. Like it can make you crave sugar even more because you're still getting that sweet taste in your mouth. So cakes and cookies, soft drinks, all that kind of stuff, artificial sweeteners, which could also be soft drinks. And the last one is added sugars. So that's 3. The last one is added sugars, and that is like tomato sauce and things, packaged food, where they're adding sugar into it to make it quote unquote taste better. So we're going to admit right now, where are you in your sugar habit? Are you drinking 4 Cokes a day, or is it actually 5, right? Admit it, right? We're in a no judgment zone. Over the holidays, you know, is there lots of cakes and cookies around, and you couldn't say no, right? It's totally fine. Just admit it. Get it out, and we want to write it down. Write it down on your paper so you can see it. It's really important that we're honest with ourselves. It's too easy to let ourselves off the hook and kind of deny things and make up stories and all that kind of stuff to say like it's not so bad. When you see it out on paper, it can be pretty enlightening. So go ahead, write it down. And if you need to pause the video, pause the video. Okay, the next question is, where are like kind of the roadblocks, like the stumbling blocks for you? And this is going to be people and potentially situations. So we have some people in our lives that are constantly making sweet treats. Sometimes somebody said, you know, my children are cooking these sweet treats, and they, as the mother, they feel like they need to eat them. Maybe it's your grandmother or whatever. Who in your life, your partner, is keeping the fridge stocked with cookies and ice cream? Who in your life is the stumbling block? And also it could be situations like parties, or at your office there's always like a box of pastries and things like that there in the morning. So just know, because we want to be prepared for those things, right? What people and what situations are potential stumbling blocks for you. And again, take the time to write them down. The more clear we are, the more we can plan, the more we can prepare, the easier it is to be successful. All right, next question. Similar to the last one, but a little different. What are your triggers around eating sugar? So it could be, for example, the time of day, or for some people, the time of month that they have an energy shift, and so their body just like craves that quick energy spike of sugar. It could be different events. It could be people. And for many people, it's also the meal. Like just eating a meal triggers a habit of then eating something sweet after the meal. So it could also be emotional. Like when I get stressed or lonely, I tend to eat sugar. And this week, remember, we're concentrating on like the cakes and the cookies and the soda, the artificial sweeteners, and the added sugars. If you're pretty well on your journey, you could also add in things like alcohol and refined carbohydrates as a possibility, but I don't want you to overwhelm yourself, right? We want to set yourself up for success. So if a stressful situation is also causing you to drink, that's kind of a different problem, but from a pure sugar standpoint, it's also sugar. So what are your triggers? I did a workout, so I deserve something sweet, for example. Somebody said after a savory meal, they want to eat sugar. It's actually true that eating something salty can cause a sugar craving. So we'll get to the solutions in a moment, but we want just to know what the triggers are right now for you. All right. If you need to pause the video, pause, or if you're ready, we're going to move on. Next one is we're going to create a big game plan for you, right? The first part of the game plan is just looking in your kitchen cabinets, right? And noticing what is there. And I didn't make up this phrase, but if it's in your house, it's in your mouth. For many people, that is true. So we want to clear out the things that you're not eating this week. And if you live with somebody that is not on board with that, you need to discuss with them, like, can we put it all into this one area? And make sure you can't see it, so there's no visual cue of those cookies. The other thing we need to plan out is what you're going to do with food that you might be not eating this week. So you have some options. You can throw it away, you can compost it, you can give it away, or you can hide it and lock it away. I was talking with one of my clients and she's like, well, if it's not good for me, like I don't want to give it away to somebody, but then I feel bad about throwing it away. I get this. So make the decision now. If you live in a place where you can compost food, that's easier because then at least it's not going straight into the trash. But make your decision, make your plan. What are you going to do with the food? The less decisions we need to make in the moment around the triggers, around the cleaning out the kitchen, all of that, the less decisions we need to make in the moment, the more successful you will be. Right? Because it's less willpower. You've already made your decision and plan. So that's what we're doing now. The first part of the plan is, what are you going to do with the food that you're not eating this week? And for some folks, I will say they can have it on the kitchen counter and they still wouldn't eat it. But that is not most people. So make your plan. All right. The next part of it is, how are you going to handle those people and events that are stumbling blocks for you? If it's a person, how are you going to get them on board to support you this week? Yeah, if your partner likes to keep sweets in the house, how are you going to enroll them to support you so that you can be successful? If it's at work, what's your plan? Is there a coworker who's always like, here, take one more kind of attitude? What's your plan with that person? If it's events and things, how are you going to navigate those? And kind of leading on to this, but a little different, we're going to go back to the triggers. So if your trigger is, I eat a savory meal and I want something sweet after it, what is your plan? So for example, you could drink some mint tea or cinnamon tea. Licorice tea has also got a really lovely sweetness that clears the palate and kind of satisfies the urge. So I rename them again, mint tea, cinnamon tea, licorice tea. Somebody else also mentioned like the ginseng does that for them. So having a nice cup of tea, if that's up for you, can be great. Also having a piece of fruit could be something you do after a meal. Somebody else also mentioned to me like eating unsweetened yogurt. That could be a thing. I eat unsweetened plant-based yogurt, but that can also serve as like a nice palate cleanser. Another thing to do is just brush your teeth. That also cleanses your palate and will reduce the sugar craving. And if you're a late night kind of sugar eater, brushing your teeth could be a great interruption to that trigger. Okay, other triggers are like emotional triggers, stress, loneliness, etc. Yeah, so if you start to feel those things, what's your plan? Are you going to have a healthy snack there for you to eat, ready to eat rather than relying on just like open the cabinet and dig into whatever's there, right? And hopefully we already cleaned out the kitchen. So we're going to replace those things with healthy foods and healthy snacks. Have them prepared, have them ready to go. And if you have other triggers there, I want you to list something out for each one. What is your plan to handle each one of your triggers? Because yours are not, we're different people, right? Very good. Pause if you need to. Next question is rewards. So I am huge into celebration and rewards. This is how we get new habits to stick, right? If we are beating ourselves up and using willpower and all those things, think of like a child or your dog that you're training. Like if they do something well, we celebrate them. We give them a reward. We give them a good pet, whatever it is. We give them a hug. We give them a reward for the good action. And we get to do the same thing for ourselves. And I will say, in my experience, most people have a really challenging time with this one. So we're going to find a reward. And I recommend giving some small rewards that you can do throughout the day, and then we'll have a bigger reward for maybe at the end of the day and definitely for the end of the challenge. So some examples of some smaller rewards would be I drank the cup of tea instead of having the dessert, right? Great. Listen to your favorite song. You know, have a little dance party. For some people that's fun, for other people it's not. Sit down in a chair, listen to your favorite song there, classical music, whatever it is. I love to just step outside. That's one of my rewards. If the day is nice, I just get outside and let the sun hit my face for a couple minutes. Some other rewards that are not centered around food, that may be a little bigger, or be like buy yourself some flowers or take a bath. The idea is that we are hooking up the new habit with something that is pleasurable. That gives your body all the sensations of, oh, this was fun, and that's how we create a new habit that sticks. So another thing you can do, which sounds a little ridiculous, but I have my cup of tea here. I'm gonna take a drink, and the whole time I'm drinking that cup of tea after the dinner, instead of eating the dessert, smile. It can be a fake smile. It doesn't matter. When we fake smile and take that drink, we're actually sending all the chemical signals into our brain that this is great, and we're in joy, and we create all the happy hormones, and then your new habit sticks more, right? So even if you need to, fake smile, it works. Now, at the end of the week, I'm already future forwarding you. You have completed your challenge. You've been successful. You've done all your accountability tracking and all that. We get to have a reward at the end of the week, right? And maybe it's something like getting a massage or going to your favorite park. Going out to eat with a friend and celebrating. Whatever it is, you get to create a reward for yourself for doing a job well done at the end of the week. Yeah? So this is our plan for success, right? And the last piece is we want to have some accountability. So we already enroll people that may not be supportive of us. We also want to be in cahoots with people who are supportive, right? So have an accountability buddy. Maybe you bring a friend in with you into the challenge with you. Maybe you email me every day and I can give you a high five at the end of your successful day. Also, we will have an accountability tracker. The link is in the email that I sent you. And in order to win, because our prize is here, and I'm giving away 3 private sessions with me, consults. But you got to complete the challenge, right? You got to complete it. You got to fill out the tracker. You got to do all the items on the list. You complete the challenge and you stay accountable, and you show up here on Friday and in 5 days, and we will be celebrating together. Okay, so stay accountable. However it works for you. I can't tell you how important it is to share what you're doing with people. To verbalize it. It keeps you accountable, right? You're on the hook. So find a way to be accountable. If you're listening to this like in the future, you're just going to be accountable. You can still be accountable with me, but we'll be all on recording. It's all good. If you're here live with us this week during the challenge, we will have a live session on Friday, January 7th, and we'll be celebrating there together. Awesome. Okay, so you have your game plan here. And we also have, to help keep us accountable throughout the days, we also have our sheets. So you want to either look at this and make your own or print them out. And every day you're going to fill in, like, how much water did you drink? Now, people ask me, like, how much water should I drink? Half your body weight in ounces each day. However, if you're not drinking very much water at this point, that might be too big of a step for you, right? We want to set ourselves up for success. So just track how much water you're going to drink, and then you can also track how much of your sugar cravings happened if you were actually dehydrated during that day. And maybe you can up-level your hydration a bit. Now, herbal tea does count. Anything with caffeine in it, green tea is fantastic, but anything with caffeine does have a diuretic effect. So it doesn't quite count as part of your hydration. Herbal tea counts. Waters with, like, some lemon or orange in it, that counts. Or just straight water. We also want to be tracking our sleep, because how much sleep we're getting can really affect our sugar cravings and our moods. So you want to be getting, for folks, it's usually 7 to 9 hours of sleep is kind of the standard recommended. I know for myself, 7 is not enough, right? So you need to figure out what for you and plan out in your schedule your sleep to make sure you're getting enough sleep, because if you're not getting enough sleep, it's going to be really hard to break that sugar habit. And of course, moving, right? Keeping your body moving. It's a great way to distract yourself from a sugar craving, but it also pumps your body with energy, natural energy, a natural high, right? So we want to get our workouts and our walks and our movement. Now, we are not striving for perfection. We're striving for progress, and we're noticing the correlation between your water, your sleep, and your exercise and your sugar cravings at this point. In my longer programs in the Freedom Body Transformation, we work through all of these things because we begin to stack habits more slowly. This week, our focus is on sugar, and these things all tie together, but we want to just make it doable for you. Set yourself up for success. So we're not going to have a major goal in each department of water, sleep, and exercise. Just notice how much you're getting, notice how that affects your sugar cravings. And we aim to get the water, we aim to get the sleep, etc. Now on this side, this is like a little mini food diary here. And just kind of notice what you ate in the morning, right? And how it affected your energy, how it affected the sugar craving, etc. throughout the day. And just list out what you ate and list out how you feel. And we're going to track this each day. When we write things down, it makes things a lot more obvious, and it keeps you on track, right? So there is a space in the accountability tracker for you to mark off that you did all 5 days of your worksheets as well. All right, very good, we're almost there. The last thing I want to talk about is setting yourself up for success. So I mentioned 3 types of sugar, the obvious, like cookies and cakes and Coke, the artificial sweeteners, because artificial sweeteners, remember, can promote sugar craving, and the last one is added sugars. We're going to be looking at the labels. Be definitely aware of anything with tomatoes in them. Tomatoes often have added sugars. And we're not just worried about like high fructose corn syrup and those kind of things. We're also looking for concentrated fructose. So for example, I was just at home for the holidays with my parents, with my mom, and she was showing me these cranberries, they're organic from the health food store, like all is well. And I'm like, I'm sure there's some added sugars in there. And she said, well, it's sweetened with apple juice. Like, is that okay? And I was like, first off, you eat whatever you want, Mom. But if we're talking about added sugars, that counts as added sugars because it's not the whole apple in the bag of cranberries. It's just the juice, which is concentrated fructose, which does play into your kidneys and your liver and causes issues. So if it has been extracted from the food, corn syrup, for example, extracted from the corn, beet sugars, coconut sugar, any of the monk fruit sugar, all those things have been extracted from their whole food and they've been added into the processed food. And that's what we're looking at this week, right? And if you want to take it a step further, you could look at your all your processed refined carbohydrates like the breads, etc. And you can also look at the alcohols. And here's where you get to decide. You get to decide what is doable for you. And this is super important because everybody is at different levels. And if you set a huge goal for yourself and then you're potentially setting yourself up for failure. And it's not just failure this time. It's like diminishing your will and your enthusiasm for going for the next one, like the next step. So we really, really always want to make sure that you're setting yourself up for success. So if you're in the camp of like, wow, I'm eating cookies after every meal, or I'm drinking 4 Cokes a day, then the first part of this challenge may be like, okay, I'm going to decrease the soft drinks to 2 a day, and then by Friday, I'm going to go for none. Yeah, and then you find success. You might be the kind of person that says, I'm quitting cold turkey. I applaud you in that one too, but you get to decide. I want you to challenge yourself, and I also want you to set a goal that is doable for you. Because we have a lifetime to be healthy. And I am all about creating doable habits that give us success. It happens over time. That's what creates sustainability. Just going cold turkey for this 5 days and thinking, oh, okay, I did it, and then just going back to some other habit afterwards, that's not my definition of success. My definition of success is that you create sustainable, lifelong, healthy habits that decrease the inflammation in your body, right? That bring up your energy levels, that really allow you to be the person that you want to be in this life, right? So we go back to our why. We go back to what is being unhealthy costing us? What is it costing the people that we love? What is it costing at our work, right? And we remember those things when it gets a little tough. And then we also remember it's like one step at a time, and you get a success here. And then next week we get another success, and then another success and another success. And before you know it, okay, maybe you fell off a little bit here, but you're higher up, right? And we develop a whole new habit. People don't believe me this in the beginning. Believe me when I say this in the beginning, but your taste buds will change. Your microbiome in your gut changes, so your tastes change. What you crave changes. I actually crave salad, right? That's what I crave mostly. I crave greens. If I don't get enough greens, I am so craving greens. And yes, I have, like my lulls in energy through the day, et cetera, but I'm not craving the processed carbohydrates, and I'm not craving the sweets because my gut microbiome is not set up that way, right? And my brain isn't used to getting the dopamine hit of sugar. Right? So we remember this is as a process, right? There is an addictive quality about sugar and processed carbohydrates, also about other foods like dairy. They have an addictive quality to them. So be kind to yourself, celebrate yourself, love yourself forward, and we build one step at a time. Okay, so you have your plan, you have your sheets. I want you to now take action. That is the next step. We're being accountable this week. Nobody's getting off the hook. So if you need to, you get involved with a friend, and you're like, we're cleaning out my kitchen together, for example, right? And you're going to go to the accountability tracker. The link is in the email, and you're going to take off your check marks each day for the tasks that you've done, and then each day that you've completed your sugar challenge, what you set up for yourself. Awesome. I am here for you. Email me with any questions. Happy to help. And I high five you already in advance for completing the Sugar Detox Challenge with me. And I will see you in the next live session at the end of the challenge to celebrate with you and to hand out the prizes and all of that good stuff. So good luck to you. Create your plan, make your decisions ahead of time so it's easy. Set yourself up for success, and I will see you in the next live session or over email. Boom, boom, high fives.